Nearly 346,000 cases of homicide and non-negligent manslaughter have gone unsolved between 1965 and 2023, with over 6,000 cold cases being added each year, according to the FBI's Uniform Crime Report. But in the digital age, something is changing. Things like podcasts, TikToks, and news specials, this type of media is breathing life back into the cases we once forgot. My paper looks at the question, what role does the media play in solving cold cases, and is this role positive or negative? The intersection of media and criminal investigations has never been more prominent. With the public's growing interest in true crime and technological advancements, media platforms have become instrumental in revisiting and resolving cold cases.
Not only did this little boy just vanish off the face of the earth,
in Jericho, New York, a man finally found out what was inside the heavy barrel.
Thanks to a deathbed confession, a nearly 24-year-old cold case.
She goes missing and her car is found like this.
Google how long it takes for somebody, to die in the cold.
Apps like TikTok have become one of the most popular apps for cold case discussion. However, this does raise the ethical questions on if this type of attention is harmful to cold cases. Things like people being falsely accused or found guilty in the public's eye before a fair trial have become increasingly popular. Also, things like people making false tips or lying about evidence can hinder an investigation. My study is anchored in the agenda-setting theory, which explains how the media influences the public's perception of what is important by highlighting certain issues while ignoring others. This theory suggests that the media doesn't just reflect reality, but actively shapes it by focusing attention on specific topics and giving them a sense of prominence. Additionally, the media dependency theory highlights the public's reliance on media for information, especially in complex issues like criminal investigations. I'll also be reviewing existing literature to contextualize my research within the broader academic discourse. I plan to analyze a sample of cold cases with varying levels of media coverage, some with intense podcast or social media attention, and others that are barely mentioned in the former mention or in the news at all. I'll also look at how these cases are reported, who gets attention, and what happens afterwards. I anticipate that this research will provide a deeper understanding of how media influences the criminal justice process, particularly in cold cases. The findings could inform ethical guidelines for media practitioners and suggest frameworks for effective collaboration between media entities and law enforcement agencies.
Viewer of Unsolved Mysteries led to the discovery of Kayla. But is there a danger that these shows may lead to hundreds of tips or thousands that lead nowhere, causing police to spend valuable time chasing bad leads?
Well, I think the police should be thankful and look at this as a gift, right? It's better to have 200 leads that lead nowhere, and at least you have the leads, than to have no leads or a dozen leads. I think the danger that I see in the role that the media plays is more in cases like Kohberger or Alec Murdaugh, where essentially the accused's rights are at issue, and media gets them convicted in the court of public opinion before they can get a fair trial, before they can be presumed innocent. So I think the danger to me is on that side with respect to the accused and not so much with respect to the victims. I think this is very helpful to law enforcement and to families of victims to find missing people.
In conclusion, the media has the potential to be a powerful tool in the pursuit of justice for cold cases. However, this power must be wielded responsibly. Through this research, we aim to highlight the importance of ethical reporting and the benefits of collaboration between media and law enforcement to bring closure to unresolved cases.